Hi, and welcome to Stories with Sarah. My name's Sarah, and today I'll be reading an Indian tale called The Lord of Death. I hope you all enjoy. Once upon a time there was a road, and everyone who traveled along it died. Some folk say they were killed by a snake, others said by a scorpion. But certain it is, they all died. Now a very old man was traveling along the road, and being tired, sat down on a stone to rest, when suddenly, close behind him, he saw a scorpion, as big as a cock, which, while he looked at it, changed into a horrible snake. He was wonderstruck, and as the creature glided away, he determined to follow it at a little distance, and so find out what it really was. So the snake sped on day and night, and behind it followed the old man like a shadow. Once it went into an inn and killed several travelers. Another time it slid into the king's house and killed him. Then it crept up the water spout to the queen's palace and killed the king's youngest daughter. So it passed on, and wherever it went, the sound of weeping and wailing arose. And the old man followed it, silent as a shadow. Suddenly the road became a broad, deep, swift river, on the banks of which sat some poor travelers who longed to cross over, but had no money to pay the ferry. Then the snake changed into a handsome buffalo, with a brass necklace and bells around its neck, and stood by the brink of the stream. When the poor travelers saw this, they said, "This beast is going to swim to its home across the river. Let us get on its back and hold onto its tail so that we too shall get over the stream." Then they climbed on its back and held by its tail, and the buffalo swam away with them bravely. But when it reached the middle, it began to kick until they tumbled off or let go, and were all drowned. When the old man who had crossed the river in a boat reached the other side, the buffalo had disappeared, and in its stead stood a beautiful ox. Seeing this handsome creature wandering about, a peasant, struck with curiosity, lured it to his home. It was very gentle, suffering itself to be tied up with the other cattle, but in the dead of night it changed into a snake, but all the flocks and herds, and then, creeping into the house, killed all the sleeping folk, and crept away. But behind it, the old man still followed, as silent as a shadow. Presently they came to another river, where the snake changed itself into the likeness of a beautiful young girl, fair to see, and covered with costly jewels. After a while, two brothers, soldiers, came by, and as they approached the girl, she began to weep bitterly. "What is the matter?" asked the brothers. "And why do you, so young and beautiful, sit by the river alone?" When the snake girl answered, "My husband was even now taking me home, and going down to the stream to look for the ferry boat, fell to washing his face, and when he slipped in, and was drowned, so I have neither husband nor relations." "Do not fear," cried the elder of the two brothers, who had become enamored of her beauty. "Come with me, and I will marry you." "On one condition," answered the girl. "You must never ask me to do any housework, and no matter for what I ask, you must give it to me." "I will obey you like a slave," promised the young man. "Then go at once to the well and fetch me a cup of water. Your brother can stay with me quoth the girl. But when the elder brother had gone, the snake girl turned to the younger, saying, "Fly with me, for I love you. My promise to your brother was a trick to get him away." "Not so," returned the young man. "You are his promised wife, and I look on you as my sister." On this the girl became angry, weeping and wailing until the elder brother returned, when she called out, "Oh, husband, what a villain is here! Your brother asked me to fly with him and leave you." Then bitter wrath at his treachery arose in the elder brother's heart, so that he drew his sword and challenged the younger to battle. Then they fought all day long, until by evening they both lay dead upon the field. And then the girl took the form of a snake once more, and behind it followed the old man, silent as a shadow. But at last it changed into the likeness of an old white bearded man. And when he had followed so long saw one like himself, he took courage, and laying hold of the white beard asked, "Who and what are you?" The old man smiled and answered, "Some call me the Lord of Death, because I go about bringing death to the world." "Give me death," pleaded the other, "for I have followed you far, silent as a shadow, and I am weary." But the Lord of Death shook his head, saying, "Not so. I only give to those whose years are full, and you have 60 years of life to come." Then the old white bearded man vanished, but whether he really was the Lord of Death or a devil, who can tell? And that was the Lord of Death. I hope you enjoyed.